G'day, Seb Costello here from the Channel 9 News, and another successful Frankston Mornington Peninsula breakfast. A morning of good food, good conversation and an inspiring presentation as well. Carolyn Creswell, the founder of the Carman's muesli bars, came and spoke to us this morning about how she turned a $1,000 investment into a multinational healthy eating powerhouse. So lots of tips for everybody who came down and a fair few smiles. Good way to start the day. So before I tuck into this, it does look rather tasty. Here's a little snippet of what you missed out on if you weren't here this morning.
So when the people that I babysat for said, would I like to make muesli? I thought, well, I could do that. So every Tuesday I used to go and make muesli. So this was my latest job. Now, it was one of those in-store bakeries. The owners used to sit out the back and have their cappuccinos and check what we were doing, but we were the workforce. And they said, we want to do the honourable thing and let you know that this little business is for sale. And whoever buys it might want to keep you working here, or whoever buys it might want to make it themselves, and we want to let you know you might be losing your job. So I thought about it, and I had a talk to the other lady that worked there, and we thought, well, we're already the ones making it. Why couldn't we be the ones to buy this little business? And so for the next 3 months, they progressively sent other people into this little business to look at buying it. And so we used to shut that back window, so we made it nice and steamy in the bakery. We would put the people on. My partner had the job, which was on a revolving oven. They used to spin around, and you'd have to put hot trays of muesli in and out. And you know, first day you'd always end up with burns up the inside of your arms because you were trying to juggle this oven. And then at the end of the day, they'd say, this is really hard work. And we're like, yeah, we know. So, you know what, this business isn't for me. And we'd say, yes, another one down. And on we went. But after 3 months, they said, all right, we'll take your offer. So that's how Carman's was born. It's the first 3 letters of my name and the first 3 letters of my partner's name, Manya. So that's the extensive contract that I did on my uni laptop to buy the company. If you go out and expect that you're going to go for 100 jobs before you get one, you're going to have a different opinion than if you go for one job and you become devastated when you don't get that one job. And so I guess I always had that sort of feeling that, well, I'll just keep trying, and no's not forever, and, you know, see you in 6 months, and what do I need to do to turn that into a yes? And they'd say, well, you need a barcode or a nutritional panel. And so I kept beavering away, and I'd go back 6 months later, and, you know, I just kept plugging away, not sort of letting that get me down. You know, no, I don't look at any industry and say, oh my gosh, that's so easy and that's fantastic. You know, I work in a challenging industry, and people say all the time, how do you deal with the big supermarkets? I'm like, do you know what? It's what I do. I just play the best game that I can. And, you know, and I think don't have industry envy. Just say, well, this is the requirements of my industry, and just do the best you can. And, you know, it never ceases to amaze me that we can have such scale from a small business based in Cheltenham, which is, you know, literally, you know, we're in the back blocks, you know, started by someone that was working behind the cash register at Coles, and to think that we can have such an impact, you know, and I hear the volume. So we have a range of clients. Obviously the big guys for us are Coles and Woolies, but we do an enormous amount of work, you know, through the independents, through a chain called Costco, which is a new entry into Australia. And it, when they first came, and they had this concept that everything had to be 3 times as big, but it was going to be about, you know, substantially less expensive than going to Coles and Woolies. And we sort of started backing them. And when you sell a product to Coles or Woolies, you aim to sell 6 packets per store per week. That's what we all want to do. Within a couple of weeks, we're doing 1,500 packets a week at Costco. So what was going through their shed, you know, it's an amazing business. We sell through Sainsbury's, which is a beautiful supermarket chain in the UK, Whole Foods, a chain through New York, and this is all the different places we sell around the world. And I think it's quite amazing that you can have a business that's owned by Australian, that is valuating Australian product, that's an Australian brand, and that we can have that reach around the world. And I think, you know, there's something, you know, and particularly Asia is a very big push for us. We just got our first order yesterday to a mega Chinese supermarket chain that we've been working on for quite a while. And, you know, Asia, they can't compete against the food that comes from Australia because they just don't have the raw materials. So for some things, you know, you're making a t-shirt or whatever, we're not going to compete, but certainly on food, we've got a real advantage. So it's very exciting, and something that I'm quite passionate about for our business.